What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So when it comes to the Senate, if we look at these 9 states that are in play, what do Republicans have to do to maintain control of the Senate? And what do Democrats have to do to take back control of the Senate? So we're going to talk about that today. And we'll look at some different scenarios, some scenarios that Republicans can do in order to maintain control of the Senate, and then also what Democrats need to do to take control of the Senate. And so let's get started. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, one more thing, I posted a video, or maybe it was a live stream. I think it was a live stream and a video where I was talking about memberships. And I had some people in the comments say, oh, he's going to be doing live streams only for members. That isn't true. And I didn't explain that when I talked about live streams. I am going to do live streams, more live streams, but I'm also going to do some live streams, just some, not all of them, but some live streams where it's going to be for members. And those live streams are going to be more informal, where I'm just going to be, I might be talking about certain things. We'll be looking at maybe X, or looking at some of the headline news. And a lot of times what I do before I shoot these videos is I do research. And that's a time where I can just turn on the camera and do a live stream for members, and we can just talk back and forth. Those are the live streams that I was talking about. Now, a regular live stream where I have all the information, I've done the research and everything, and I sit down and I do a live stream, I'm going to continue to do those. When it comes to the election coverage, anytime we have a primary election and obviously the midterm election, I'm going to do a live stream, and that's going to be for everyone. And so there are only going to be certain special live streams that I do, and those live streams will be for members. But everything else, all my videos and everything, they're going to be for everyone. It's not just going to be for members. And so I just wanted to clear that up, because I did have some people in the comments thinking that all my live streams now are going to be for members. That's not true. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. These right here, what you're looking at, these are the states that I think are in play. The states that are in green are in play. Those are the 9 states that are in play. And then we have 2 orange independent states, okay? Or independents, I think independents have a shot to win in those states. So this is what we are currently looking at. And so we're going to walk our way through this. And so right now, if we're looking at the numbers, Democrats are at 44, Republicans are at 45. Democrats need to get to 51 to take back control of the Senate. Republicans need to get to 50 to take back control of the Senate. And so if we start running the numbers, you start looking at some of the different scenarios here. When it comes to Republicans, as I stated, they just need to get to 50. And so what is their best pathway to get to 50? I would say, first off, when we're talking about these independents, if Republicans can win in Montana and Republicans can pull it off in New Hampshire, that would put them at 47. Now they need to win 3 more states. And so when we're looking at this map, I think out of the states that we have left, the Republicans' best opportunity is going to come in Iowa. Okay, so if they can defend Iowa. And then from Iowa, I think their next best chance is to defend in Texas. And so that would give them 49. And remember, they only need 1 more state. And so looking at the states that are left, I think Democrats are going to have the closest race. It's going to be the hardest race for Democrats. It's going to come out of Ohio. So if Republicans can win in Ohio, now Republicans are at 50. Now, they have lost 3 seats because before the election, right now they have 53 seats. So they would have lost 3 seats, but they would still maintain control of the Senate, because once they get to 50, the vice president can come in and break the tie. And so that is the scenario for Republicans. This is what Republicans would need to do to maintain control of the Senate. Now, when it comes to Democrats, what do Democrats need to do to win the Senate? Well, first, Democrats need to defend 3 states. They need to defend Georgia. So they need to win there. They need to win in Michigan. They need to win in New Hampshire. So if they can defend 3 of those states, then they'll need to net 4 seats. Okay. North Carolina, good possibility. I think Roy Cooper is probably going to win there. When it comes to Maine, we're looking at Plattner doing really well in the polling. I think Plattner will probably be able to win. If the election were held today, Plattner would probably win. If Plattner can keep that momentum going into November, I think Plattner has a really good shot of winning. When it comes to Alaska, same situation. Peltola is doing well in the polling. If she continues to do well in the polling, I think she has a real fighting chance to win. Now, the polls might not be correct, okay? And the polls in Alaska are much closer than they are in Maine. But if the polling that we're seeing is correct, Peltola is winning in all the polls. So if the polling is correct, then we could see her win in Alaska. Now, that brings us to Democrats at 50, Republicans at 50. And as I stated, the tie goes to the vice president, so Republicans would still maintain control of the Senate. So now Democrats need to win one more state. And that's where we're starting to look at Ohio, Iowa, Texas. They can come into play. And so I think when we're looking at those three states that I just went over, the best pickup for Democrats is probably going to come out of Ohio. So if Democrats can win in Ohio, now Democrats would have 51. They would take back control of the Senate. But it doesn't just stop there, because remember, I talked about independents. So if we have two states where independents are running, Osborne is doing relatively well in the polling in Nebraska. This could be Osborne's best chance to win in Nebraska. And so let's say we see a scenario where Osborne is able to pull it out in Nebraska, but Republicans are able to hold Montana. Now we're looking at Democrats and independents at 51, Republicans at 48, and then we have one independent. And so Democrats in this scenario, they would have control of the Senate. Even if Osborne decides, you know what, I'm going to either caucus with the Republicans or I'm not going to caucus with either side. It doesn't change anything. And this would give Democrats a cushion. And so when we're talking about, well, what's Fetterman going to do? Is Fetterman going to switch parties? All of this, is Fetterman going to become an independent? In a situation like this, Democrats would still maintain control of the Senate, even if Fetterman decided that he wanted to become an independent or he wanted to become a Republican. And so that's why Democrats are endorsing Osborne as an independent, and the candidate that Democrats had running in Nebraska, she won and then stepped aside. So she's not going to be running. And so Democrats are banking on Osborne doing well in Nebraska because it really matters. And so let's look at another scenario here. Let's say Republicans are able to defend their seat in Ohio. They're able to win in Ohio. Now we're looking at Democrats at 50, Republicans at 49, and one independent. Democrats still have the majority. Now, this is a situation where people get a little nervous because Fetterman could decide to become an independent and caucus with the Republicans or become a Republican. So that could be, Democrats might be a little uneasy with that, but Democrats would still have control of the Senate. And so Osborne could be a real wild card here for Democrats. If Osborne wins, he takes a seat away from Republicans. And if he decides to not caucus with either, because let's face it, when it comes to Osborne, he's running against a Republican. Do you think he's going to run against a Republican and then caucus with the Republicans? That doesn't really make sense. I think if he decides to caucus with either side, it's most likely going to be the Democrats, but he'll probably just say, you know what, I'm not caucusing with either side. And that's going to hurt Republicans. It's not going to hurt Democrats. Now, when it comes to Montana, there's not that much information out there. They just posted a poll and it was pretty much showing 50-50, 50% for the independent, 50% for it's an open seat too, so 50% for the Republican who's running. But I'm waiting for some more polling to come out so we can kind of get an idea of what's going on, because they have a Democrat that's running in that race as well. So you have a Democrat, an independent, and a Republican. And when you put all three in, like, let's say it was November, the general election, if you put all three in there, the independent only gets, and this is according to the polling, independent got like 25%, the Democrat got like 25%, and then the Republican was at that 50%. So realistically, with a Democrat and an independent in there, they're just taking each other's votes. And so I just wanted to take a look at our map. Now, there's one other scenario, too, that we could see. And this is, this would be for Democrats. Let's say Republicans win in Nebraska, but Democrats are able to win in Ohio, and they're also able to win in Texas. Now I think Texas is going to be even closer as far as the race with Tallarico. It looks like it's going to be Paxton. Paxton was endorsed by President Trump. And I think this is going to give Tallarico a real shot at winning because you have this striking contrast between Paxton and Tallarico. And I think voters in Texas are going to be able to see that extreme contrast. Do you want a pastor in Tallarico, or do you want the baggage that Paxton carries? And so if we see a scenario like this, now Democrats and independents are at 52, Republicans are at 48, and that would give Democrats a cushion just in case Fetterman decided that he does want to become an independent or he wants to become a Republican. Or in certain legislation, if Fetterman decides that he wants to vote with the Republicans. But you realize when it comes to the Senate, in most cases, you're going to need the 60 votes. So they're going to need Republicans anyway to pass legislation. And so now I want to pass it off to you. What do you think about the Democrats' chances of taking back control of the Senate? What do you think about Republicans' chances of maintaining control of the Senate? And what do you think about the independents? Do you think we'll see an independent Nebraska win or independent Montana win? Let me know in the comments below. If you please like the video, subscribe for more, and remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.